welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Stockport County, welcome back to Edgeley Park for the transfer window going into our season in the Championship. Since the last episode, we played Sheffield Wednesday, we beat them 1-0, we beat Swindon 3-1 and we drew 0-0 with Oxford. That finished off our season. That meant that we got to 103 points once again, 13 points clear of Southend in second. Colchester finished in third place. Bolton, who follows us up from League 2, have made the playoffs once again, so they're in a good position. They'll play Sheffield Wednesday in the first leg of that. So it is a fantastic performance. We were predicted to fight bravely against relegation. We have gone up as champions yet again. George Alexander's got 43 goals in 47 appearances in all competitions. Charlie McCann has got 16 assists and 17 goals. Go down there, Lewis Martin got 15 goals when he went out on loan, so he's done a decent job since going out to York. 15 and 31, a lot better than what he was turning in League 1 for us. Hopefully he can use that and build on that. Brandon Cover got 14 and 19 assists, Shaden Morris got 10 and 11, Liam Shaw got 10 and 14. People there turning in performances all over the park. Bradley Reed getting 8 assists, so did Lenny Ray Sereno from left fullback. Just brilliant. Average rating, Charlie McCann best player by some way as well, 7.62 over a 7.45 Stephen Dunwoody and a 7.44 George Alexander. Just shows how good Charlie McCann has been. We just look at his comparison over the last 3 years. 7.62 in the National League, 17 goals, 12 assists. He then got 9 and 9 with a 7.17 average in Sky Bet League 2, and he's averaged more than he did in the National League, 7.66, 1 goal less but 2 assists more man of the matches as well. Fantastic performance. Charlie McCann came through at Coventry, spent time at Manchester United, went to Rangers, spent time there, went to Kilmarnock on loan, came to us on a free before I came in here actually. In the season they got relegated, and then since I've been here, in the 3 years, like I say, he scored, what is that, 42 goals, getting 35 assists, 19 man of the match awards, averaging somewhere around a 7.4. Fantastic player he has been for us, and we're going to get into the end of season review and awards next. Right, time for the end of season review and awards in the 2029-2030 season. Firstly, we'll have a look at the new arrivals. Best player in the new arrivals in terms of average rating was Liam Shaw, 7.36, 10 goals, 14 assists from 44 appearances. He came in from Sutton. We paid a bit of money for him, £300,000. Shaden Morris got 10 goals, 11 assists, 7.23. Harley Ewan with 2 goals and 1 assist. He got a 7.17. Going down, Terry Green, who was a striker, played on the wing predominantly. He made 11 starts, 23 substitute appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists, 6.99. Everyone's really done decent. Flynn Marriott struggled in that defensive midfield role. He didn't play an awful lot, but played a lot off the bench, as did Graham Donnelly. He's not happy about that at all. In terms of transfers out, Leon Davis went, Ewan Henderson went, John Lavercombe, Ben Barkley, Cammy Kerr, Jake Hasty. If you look here, not many of them have played an awful lot of games. John Lavercombe played 29 starts for Chester, but apart from that, I mean, there's 25 starts there for Ben Barkley at Northampton. But some of the players we got rid of haven't played in the leagues that they've played in. See Leon Davis, who went to Bolton in the same league, only made 15 appearances, 4 starts for them. The league review, there we are, top of the table, 103 points from 90 in second place Southend. We averaged 9,646, 91 home attendance. George Alexander got 35 goals. FA Cup, we went out in the first round to Swindon Town, which was disappointing. Thought we might be able to do better in this. We had that week where we lost to Swindon Town twice, 2-1, and so that took us out there. Carabao Cup, we beat Salford 7-0, then lost to Leeds 2-0. Brandon Cover, George Alexander and Liam Shaw all getting 2 goals there. And in the Papa John's Trophy, George Alexander top goal scorer with 6. We beat Mansfield 5-2, lost to Sheffield United under 23s 2-1, beat Sunderland on penalties after a 3-3 draw, beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-1, beat Man City, as we saw in a full episode earlier on, I think last week now, 1-0, and then we lost on penalties to Leeds United after a 0-0 draw in the quarter-final stage to Leeds United under 23s. So we did okay, but that's our last involvement in the Papa John's Trophy for now. We won't be in it next year, obviously, as a Championship club. Biggest win of the season was that Carabao Cup win, 7-0. Alexander getting 2, Shaw getting 2, Cover getting 2, and Dunwoody getting 1. That was actually the start of looking at George Alexander moving back as the first team striker, because I think that was the second or third game of the season. We brought Alexander in, switching him up for Martin, and all of a sudden he gets the 2 goals there, and he never really looks back after that. The match to remember was the 3-1 victory on the 1st of September against Rotherham. Bather, Martin and Green, 2 late-ish goals there, 63 and 73 minutes, sealing that game for us. And the goal of the season was Shaw's goal in a 5-2 victory in the Papa John's Trophy over Mansfield. We're going to go and have a quick look at that now. So it was in the 20th minute. Let's get that loaded up. Alexander got a hat-trick in this one as well. So it was the 3rd goal of the game, actually. So we'll just look at those goals now. So the first one, of course, it was McCann's ball in, Dunwoody with a header at the near post, smashing home that header. Second goal, a couple of minutes later, Serino on the left-hand side, ball in, and it was a bit of a mix-up. Oh, wow. I forgot about that one. What a mix-up that was. And Alexander sliding in from a yard. And this free kick from Shaw, fantastic. He proved that in the last episode where he scored probably, I don't want to say a better free kick, but just as good a free kick there. And Alexander finding his second there into an empty net. In terms of the finances, everything's gone up. Sponsorship went up by £70,000 to £190,000. Broadcast revenue went up by £150,000 to £406,000. Corporate and hospitality went up by just under £200,000 to £531,000. Competition prize money up from £81,000 to £108,000. And the matchday commercial and retail up £50,000 from £491 last season to £541. We are a 2-star regional reputation club. Well, 2.5 star now, actually. Sorry, we've gone up half a star. We made £239,000 in total merchandise sales. 3,253 player shirts sold. Florent Hottie, Brandon Cover, Alexander, Shaw, and Morris, the best sellers there. And the team of the year: Webb, Serino, Benjamin, Dunwoody, and Pemberthy. Ewan, even though Ewan and Benjamin really did swap for most of the time, Benjamin played a lot of games in that defensive midfield role. Shaw and McCann in the centre midfield. Cover on the left, Morris on the right, Alexander up front. Was a really, really solid team performance. We got some record breakers as well. Most overall goals by a player in a season, we have George Alexander with 43. Most assists by a player in a season was Brandon Cover with 19. And most man of the match awards in a season was Charlie McCann with 11. We look through. Fans player of the year was Charlie McCann. Young player of the season was Stephen Dunwoody. Signing of the season, Liam Shaw. Goal of the season we just saw was Liam Shaw. Top goal scorer, George Alexander. Most assists, Brandon Cover. Most man of the match awards was Charlie McCann. Highest average rating was Charlie McCann. And the most passes completed per 90 minutes was Richie Reid. 78 passes completed per 90 minutes. As for me, Sky Bet League 2 Manager of the Year, Manager of the Month in September, December and April. So some good personal accolades for me, some good personal accolades for some of the players here. George Alexander breaking records, Cover breaking records, McCann breaking records. They have been 3 legends of the club so far. And there it is, hard work and effort paid on and off the pitch, didn't go unrewarded, top of the table. That is all done. One thing I'm going to quickly look at before we go into the next screen is we are going to get up, right, where am I looking here? So there we go. So Florent Hottie, me, Devante Cole, Richie Reid and James Penrice are all in the favourite people, as Charlie McCann's gone into a club icon role, and I think that's it. Jim Gannon's up there, Dave Jones, Dave Begara. There's none of our other players. Charlie McCann's moved to a club icon. Florent Hottie, myself, Devante Cole, Richie Reid and James Penrice are all in the favourite people's list as well. You see here, Sky Bet League 2 2029, Vanarama National League 2028. We'll add Sky Bet League 1 to that soon as well. We'll just flick through some of the messages. Inducted into the best 11, so we've got Webb, Penrice, Tunnicliffe, Okocha, Barkley and Kurt Okocha. What has happened to him since? He's at Dunfermline playing in the Scottish Championship. Not really doing a lot there. And then some players there that aren't as Jamal Ingram's in there as well. So 2029 third review, we've just gone through that. Club Vision expectation meeting, they want us to avoid relegation, not even fight against it, just want us to avoid it. Team leaders, McCann, Richie Reid and Xavier Benjamin, all as team leaders. Some good highly influential players as well. That is really good for our dynamics. Let's discuss the plans for next season. Optimistic that we can fight against relegation and set up comfortably. Ooh, that hasn't gone well. Okay, so right, yeah, let's just try and save that as best as we can. As the end of season break, where are we going to go training? Northwest of England or Scotland? Should we go? Let's go to Scotland. As post-match analysis of that game against Oxford comes in, 0-0 draw. Stronger momentum, but we just couldn't find the back of the net. So that is the season, and now we need to look at strengthening this side as we move into life in the Championship. We also have our first lot of players in. We've signed some of the youngsters that were released by Premier League clubs. None of them are going to make the grade straight away, that is for sure, but a lot of them have decent potential. So we have Oran Morris, who is a goalkeeper, £150 a week. Again, he could be better than Mike Weir, better potential. He's obviously 3 years younger as well, so hopefully he can become a better backup goalkeeper. Maybe he can go on to be a first choice goalkeeper, who knows. Some of these players will go online. Kevin Gamez from Manchester City, 4.5-star potential. He is a left winger. We have James Graham as well. He can play on the right, the left and down the middle as well. 17 years of age. He's 5'5" though, which is very, very small. Good potential for him. Dan Addison is a striker, only with 9 finishing, but good heading, good first touch. He's 5'10". His heading is really good, but apparently he can't jump. But he's a 4.5-star potential player as well. So we brought him in the hope that hopefully we can get something out of these. And Nabil Ziani from Manchester City as well. He is a right winger. Some okay numbers there. 5'5" as well. Very, very small player. It's 18. 4-star potential player, so hopefully these boys can do some business. Like I say, we have £24,000 in the wage budget available. These players, none of them coming on big money. That's like £150 a week most of them are on. So we have £383,000 in the transfer budget. I don't think we're going to use much of that. We're going to look at trying to get an end of contracts, I think, see how much of this we can move across, give us a little bit more wage budget. That didn't go across then, did it? It's confirmed. So that gives us £32,000 of wage budget. You look here, a lot of these players I think are all coming up on their current deals. So we look at who we can bring in, who are better, and who can improve this squad and make us Championship ready. So it's the 9th of June. We have 7 signings through the door. There's only really one that is going to be fighting for a first team place in this first season. So first up we have Nabil Ziani. He is a right winger. I believe he was from Manchester City. Yeah, Manchester City came through the ranks at. Some okay numbers, decent agility, can't jump to save his life, 5'5". If we move him to a winger on attack, so he's crossing, dribbling and first touch all pretty good, his passing's pretty good, off the ball flair, anticipation's a little bit poor, and his physicals are pretty good for an 18-year-old. So again, 3.5-star potential. Hopefully he can fulfill some of that and become a Championship level player for us. James Graham is the next one. He's a 17-year-old midfielder, can play central midfield, attacking midfield, or either side. If we move to that central midfield role and we look central midfield on attack, first touch is good, long shots is first touch and long shots, sorry, should I say, are okay. His passing's good, technique's pretty good, his tackling's poor. Teamwork, vision and work rate could do with a couple more points. This guy's only 17, again 3.5-star potential. Composure, anticipation, decisions all want a little bit more from that. Again, he's another 5'5" player. Where's he come through at? Tottenham. So we've got some small players coming through the ranks at the club now. We've got Oran Morris, who's a 6'3" goalkeeper. Not bad numbers. Never really sure when you look at goalkeepers how good you want them to be. So if we just compare him to Mike Weir, who's a current backup goalkeeper. So Weir's 1 better at shot stopping, 1 better at distribution, 2 better aerially. Oran Morris is more eccentric, better communication, mental's the same, and he's quicker. So he's 3 years younger. He should progress to be a better player than Mike Weir. That would definitely make him the backup goalkeeper, and then we just move from there. Next is Kevin Gamez. He is also Man City, I believe. Gone back too far again. 5'7". Physicals are pretty good. Stamina's a little bit poor. Could do with better from that. If we just move forward and look at him as an inside forward on support, finishing's poor, first touch and dribbling need a couple more points, long shot does need a couple more points. I feel like we could probably train him as a winger on attack on the other side. His crossing's good, his first touch is okay, passing and technique are good. His physicals again pretty good, apart from his jumping reach and his strength. But maybe we bring him over to the right hand side, maybe make him a winger on the right hand side rather than an inside forward on the left. That might suit him better. Next is Dan Addison, who's a striker, 9 finishing striker though, so not particularly great, but he can also play naturally in centre midfield. His first touch is good, fantastic actually, the long shots are good, technique's good, tackling's poor, passing's okay. Again, physicals are pretty good, 5'10" this guy is, stamina's 12, strength is 15, vision's 8, teamwork's 10, work rate is 14, anticipation's 12. There's some okay numbers there. I feel like he would be better as a central midfielder rather than a striker. If we just look at him as a if I can get down there, as an advanced forward. I mean, his finishing isn't great. His composure's not particularly great either. But as we saw in the first season he saved, I think Leicester Road, I think we had a guy with 5 first touch, and he in Lewis Clements, and he was absolutely wonderful. Then there's a guy who should make his way into the first team. It's Ashley Phillips. We have signed him for £37,000 from Bristol City. Absolute steal of a buy. And again, I've gone all the way back to the start. Physicals all pretty good. 6'4" centre back, nearly 14 stone. If we just move him to a ball playing defender on defend, his first touch could do with a little bit of improvement. That's because he's passing, but his tackling, his marking, his heading, all very good. Positioning also very good. Like I said before, physicals are all good. Plays short, simple passes, which is what we want from a ball playing centre back. Stays back at all times. He's obviously on the defend mentality as well, so that should be fine. Knocks ball past opponents, a bit of a worrying thing for the for a centre back, but he's good on both feet as well. So he looks like he'll be a first team player this season. And then the 7th one is Robbie Irwin, who actually, there's 2 then, I do apologise. Robbie Irwin is the other guy. He is a winger. Can play on the right hand side. If you're just looking at him as a winger on attack, his crossing is a bit low, but his dribbling, his first touch, technique, passing, all pretty good. Maybe his passing and crossing could do with a point or 2 more. Physically very good, quite quick, 13 pace, 14 acceleration, good balance, 16 balance. And again, looking at his flair, 14, the anticipation, 12. His off the ball is 9. Again, another thing that could really do with being improved. But we need backup for Shaden Morris. Well, we need someone to challenge him. Terry Green was okay, but I don't think he was quite good enough. So there we are. There are the 7 players coming in. We also had an offer coming from Brandon Cover for £250,000. We asked if we could get close to £1 million. They didn't want to know, Coventry City. So he stays at the club for now. We'll have to see how that progresses as we go on. So Robbie Irwin is now effectively our best right winger at the club. Shaden Morris there just below him. We're just looking at some of the other players that we brought through. As we go down, there's Dan Addison there. Where is... Oh wait, we're at the top. There's Ashley Phillips there, arguably one of our best players now, 24 years of age. We've got obviously Stephen Dunwoody, who is a right back, probably more dominant as a centre back, as is Xavier Benjamin. So we've got a good number of players now. Right back, obviously Josh Pemberthy. Left back down here, Lenny Ray Serino. Not sure where we need to improve on. I'm just going to have a look at the squad depth now. If we just move these to filter, and we'll put 3-star minimum ability. So we have no strikers. We've got Brandon Cover as a left winger, Morris and Irwin both on the right. In the central midfield we have McCann, we have Cover, we have Shaw, we have Reed. In that defensive midfield role we have Benjamin, McCann, Cover and Liam Shaw. Defenders Dunwoody, Benjamin, Phillips and Shaw, and then on the right Dunwoody, Benjamin and Pemberthy. So it's really only a left winger and a striker that we don't have any 3-star current ability players, so that might be somewhere we look at improving. But when you've got a guy in George Alexander who scored 40 goals last season, it might just be that he will lead the line once again for us. 29 years of age, in his prime, starting to find the net. Found the net regularly for us in the last 2 seasons. 52 goals for us in the last 2 seasons in the league. So it might be him who leads the line, but we just need to work out what we're going to do with this squad now, because we've got, this is everyone, including the under 18s. So we just need to work out who's going to stay, who's going to come in. We've got some good players. We've obviously got this side that has been here for a long time again. Lewis Webb, another guy who's come through the ranks of us, will probably be the first choice goalkeeper, because it's not necessarily about finding the players, it's being able to afford the players. We have, which is this page, we only have £7,960 left in the wage budget to spend. Obviously there's going to be some players going, but we don't have the money to be able to go and spend big on any of these players, if I'm completely honest. So we just got to see what comes our way. See, Ben Lloyd's come up here. He is transferred, so he can go on a free as well. 25-year-old central midfielder. Central midfield's not somewhere that really want to improve on massively, but we just need to see where the players become available and who we can bring in and who is going to do the job for us. No more business at the moment. It is the 1st of July though, so it is, well, it's the day before the 1st of July, so it is time to start looking for some freebies. So one thing I'm just going to show is this. Abdou Aziz Sek. He's a central midfielder. 4.5, well, 3.5 star, potentially could be 5 star. 5-star potential. He's 19. Long shots 12 to 20, passing 13 to 20, work rate 14 to 20. I just want to show you this. He's a free agent and he's wanted by AC Milan, Inter Milan and FC Porto. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is this. He has agreed to come to Stockport County for £1,200. I have no idea how this guy is going to look, but when you see a guy that is wanted by these clubs, let's have a look at him. He's a central midfield on attack. First touch 15, long shots 14, passing 17, technique of 13, work rate of 16. This guy, I mean, is he fairly ambitious, level-headed? Wow, this could be an absolute phenomenal signing. Came to the ranks at Olympique Marseille, went to Plovdiv on loan, scored 4 goals, 3 assists in 30 appearances. He comes to the Championship. Abdou Aziz Sek, what a player this could be. Absolutely wonderful signing. The clubs that wanted him, we have got him. £1,200 a week. We're just going to do a quick comparison. We're going to compare him with, let's compare him with Charlie McCann. So if we compare him with Charlie McCann, look at that. Technically better, aerially better, mentally, defending, physically, speed's the same, vision's the same, and attacking better. I think he is, would he be our best? So there he is as our best central midfielder. Who is our best central midfielder? Liam Shaw. So let's compare him with Liam Shaw. Let's go down here. Liam Shaw. So mental's the same. Liam Shaw's better aerially, technically. They're all, to be fair, they're all pretty similar. And then when you factor in the fact that Sek has got 10 years on Liam Shaw as well. He's quicker, he's more physical, he's got better vision. Attacking is just a bit less, he's technically better. Mentally the same. Defending and aerially is the only places that Liam Shaw is better in. But like I say, 10 years to catch him up. I think this could be a really good guy. 5'9", 11 stone 2, 19, turns 20 in October. I am so excited to get this guy, and I got him with absolutely no stats. You look at a player like that, he's on a free, he doesn't want a lot of money. You've got 3 massive clubs in for him, and I am absolutely over the moon for it. Like I said, here he comes, £1,200. He's got a relegation release fee of 2.4 million. He's got a minimum fee release clause of 4 million. Obviously we've got to work that out. It depends if anyone wants to come in from after a year, but even if someone comes in for 4 million after bringing him in on a free, it's still a positive. But absolutely over the moon with that signing. He's valued somewhere between 1.3 and 4.9 according to our stats. Star rating wise, he is second best player at the club, best midfielder at the club. So I am absolutely over the moon with that signing. We have really got a player on our hands there. And also on that as well, we've brought 2 left backs in on trial. So we've got Teo Eden, who's a 32-year-old Nigerian, and Ryan Manning, and Seb Revan as well, all left backs. If you just look at our left backs, we've got Lenny Ray Serino, who's just there. He is a 3-star player. Teo Eden is a 3.5-star player if you want to just compare star rating wise, and then we've got Richard Hayden, who's a 1-star left back. So we're definitely going to sign one of them. We just don't know which one we're going to go for. We're going to give it a little bit more time, get a little bit more comparisons going of the 3 players, work out who's best, work out who can really challenge Serino in that left back position, and we'll make a move depending on that at a later date. Philip Rankin's also had a bid to go out on loan, so there is potential that if we like the look of 2 of these guys, we might bring them both in just to have someone who also can play centre back, because that would mean as well, if you just look, Richie Reid can play at right back, Harley Ewan can play at centre back, but we don't have many players now that can play both. Dunwoody can play both, Benjamin can play right and centre back, but someone who can play left back and centre back is probably something we're going to look at getting as well. So we might actually sign 2 of these when we get the information that we need. The fact that Teo Eden can also play in the central midfield as well is kind of ideal. Physically looks very good, as does his mentals as well. Just worried about the age of them, but obviously on a free transfer, what can you do? We have a little bit of money left to spend. We've got £10,000 left in the wage budget, so we will try and make that work for us as best we can. Also got bids as well for Ron Curry, who's a goalkeeper, who is going to be a backup goalkeeper. Mohamed Boateng as well, who's a left centre back. He is wanted by Milan and Inter, also by Lincoln and Wimbledon as well. So it's a bit of an odd one, but he's a Ghanaian. Came through at FC Porto in their B team, played a lot of games in the second division in Portugal, is that, I think? Yeah, the second division in Portugal. So he's played a lot of games at that level, so he should be a good sign if we can get him over the line. And then the other one is an under-23 assistant manager. So we're in a good position. I think we've made some very good signings so far. If we can get a couple of these boys in as well. We're just going to have a quick look at the season preview before we make some more. We're 150 to 1, predicted to finish 23rd. Obviously, we're going to try and look to improve on that. We've not been massive in the way of bringing in new players, or we're spending money actually as well. If you just look here, we've spent nothing, brought in £50,000. If you go back to last season, we spent £275,000, brought in £425,000. When you think that Ashley Phillips, who came in on the 9th of June, so classes last year's transfer, was the only other person we spent money on, apart from Lewis Martin. Very, very cheap. We spent £600,000 the season before when we went to League 2. We had money spent on Philip Rankin, Liam Short and Bradley Reed. Philip Rankin, who is about to go out back on loan again, played 24 times for Wrexham in the National League, looks as if he is going to go to, and I've just lost where I was going, he looks like he is going to go to either Wealdstone, Walsall or Scunthorpe on loan. So that is another move where really high potential player gets some more game time. Hopefully he's getting a bit old now in terms of trying to fill that potential out, but we're still hoping while that potential's still there that he can fill it out and become a top level centre back for us. And Ron Curry did sign the following day, and also in is Mohamed Boateng. He has agreed a deal, 3-star centre back, well fullback, 5-star potential, can play left back, can play centre back. We haven't got a good left. Well, we've got Lenny Ray-Savino with the only left back we've got at the club. This guy looks like he's going to be better. He's 19, like I say, Ghanaian, came through FC Porto's B team, decent physically, jumping reach is a little bit poor for a 6-foot fullback, but that can be worked on. Mentals look okay. If you just look at a fullback on support, crossing and dribbling need to be a little bit better. His marking is okay, his tackling is good, passing and marking technique are a little bit low. Work rate's good, positioning, teamwork, decision making, concentration, all the way up here. Good bravery, good natural fitness as well. He comes in, and I think that is a big signing for us. We've been lacking a good left back for the last couple of years. That doesn't do anything. I didn't know if one signing would do an awful lot, but that is the backup left back that we have been. Well, I think actually that is probably going to be the top left back that we've been looking at getting. So that is a really good move for us, and hopefully we can continue to bring in the players to become a really good footballing side this year and really put some pressure on, because we know this is going to be a tough season. We're not silly. We're not expecting to just walk through another division. This is going to be a really, really tough year, and we're hoping to make the signings to make it a lot more manageable than what the media are predicting it to be this season for us. Also, one little bit of news to just give you as well. Hinckley Leicester Road are back up in the game. They're in the Vanarama National League North after promotion last season. We're still on the favourite people list there. They are predicted to finish in 22nd in the league. So I think is that bottom? Yeah, they're predicted to finish bottom. I mean, wow, Port Vale have dropped massively. Radcliffe, Warrington are in there, Bury Town. So hopefully they can do a job. I mean, what have they done? So they got relegated that season where they finished 20th when they shouldn't have done. Finished 9th, then they finished 6th, and then they won the league in the season just gone in the Southern Premier Central. So they won the league. That was really well done. How long? If we're just going to look at their managers as well. So after I left in 2027, they didn't have a manager. So Adam Friel, there's me being sacked with 2 league titles. Absolutely gutted. Won 128 games. Drawn 63, lost 74, 48% of the games won. But obviously see, I didn't even got a relegation on my record. God knows what happened there. Obviously an error with the game, and Gloucester have made a lone approach to signed Warren Watling, and he can go out on loan. And like I say, good news for them to be back in Vanarama North, and hopefully we can carry on making some signings to build for life in the Championship. So next up is Anthony Purcell. He's a 24-year-old centre-back, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential to be a good Sky Bet Championship player. That probably means he's a mediocre Sky Bet Championship player right now. If you look at his stats, we play obviously the ball playing defender role on defend. First touch is 7, his heading's 12, marking's 14, his passing's a little bit poor, his tackling and technique probably could do with a point or two more. Mentally pretty good, apart from his composure, which is slightly worrying, and his vision, but you know. And then his physical's pretty good, no pace, so it looks like he's going to be a big no-nonsense centre-back. 6 foot, good strength, good jumping reach, good heading. Like I said, pace is quite low, natural fitness is good, acceleration also pretty poor. He's fairly ambitious, 24, not going to get much better than what he is now, but he comes in as another centre-back, and it obviously bolsters that part of the club up as we move closer and closer to the start of the season. I think business is virtually done now. We have a couple of thousand left in the wage budget. We will have a quick look as we get into the final days of before the season starts, but I don't think there's going to be a lot more happening. Two other players to bring you news about. Ryan Manning came in on a free. He can play virtually everywhere, 3-star current ability, left back, play left wing back, can, like I say, can fill in everywhere. Some decent numbers all across the board. Natural fitness and stamina is pretty good. He is 34, so his physicals are starting to decline. His mentals are all still pretty good. Only his leadership and off the ball fall under that yellow category, and then for his technicals as well. His finishing is obviously poor, but we don't expect that from him. Decent crossing, decent free kick taking, decent first touch, marking, passing, tackling, technique, all there, all look pretty good. So he's come in as well. He bolsters up that left side because we didn't have a backup left back last season. And Tony Collins is the other guy. He is a goalkeeper, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential, 21 years of age, decent numbers. Hard to tell with the goalkeeper really when I'm looking at numbers. He comes in, probably end up being second to Lewis Webb this season, but we've got a bulk of goalkeepers now, and okay ones as well, so we can. It's not going to be the end of the world if Lewis Webb gets injured. Like I say, Collins and Curry are both very highly rated in terms of their potential. Ron Curry is 18, so he's probably got a bit more time to reach that potential, but obviously goalkeepers get to their potential a lot later on. I don't think we've got any more business. We had job offers for people. We had an offer for Lewis Webb from Rotherham for £300,000, which we rejected. Obviously, if he goes, that means that things will have to change. We'll probably have to bring in another first choice goalkeeper, because as much as these goalkeepers, Curry, Collins, look decent, I don't think we can rely on them at this level. Also, that is one hell of a monobrow there on Tony Collins. I don't think we can rely on them to be number one goalkeeper for us in the Championship. So we'll keep an eye on that. But we are, I think, 4 or 5 days away from the start of the season. No, actually, we're 6 days away from the start of the season. And hopefully there may be one more signing, but we looked through our scouting list. Eduardo Benavidez, who's someone we played against, is available for loan, the left winger. I mean, could we get him from? Would prefer to play with higher quality players, and I mean, he would be the best player in our side by an absolute mile. We've also got Dale Jones, but he's worth way too much money. If we just sort them by transfer value, we don't have much of a transfer budget. We obviously put it all into the wages. Dominic Thompson can play both sides, but he wants £17,000 a week. Let's just, I mean, I know he's 30 and I know he's going to be, I'm going to remove all these because I don't think I can do a lot of them. He's happy with being, there's no way I can afford £20,000 a week on this guy. Robert Matthews, 2.5-star, 5-star potential, but he's 23. Whether he's going to fill that out or not is a different matter. Physically looks okay, can't jump, decent pace, can obviously play out there on the right wing, technique's decent, his dribbling, can't really cross or shoot, which is obviously not ideal either way. If we look at winger on attack, his passing's not great. I don't think he's going to improve the squad, especially with Jaden Morris and Robbie Irwin as the two sort of out and out right wingers fighting for that spot. So like I said, I think we're done. I really think we're done. We've also got a couple of players on trial. Kieran Bamford is a centre back, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. Zach Emerson was someone we wanted to get in. We just couldn't afford the wage on it as another striker. Morgan Whittaker and Jack Vale are also here on trial as well. I think Jack Emerson, I think we tried to get him in. I'm pretty sure, the talks broke down. He wanted way too much money, but he's definitely someone that looks about 10. But he's definitely someone that I want to keep on the radar. Because if he doesn't find a club, he could be a very good player. 15 finishing, 17 jumping reach, 14 pace, 14 strength, 13 stamina, 16 acceleration. He could be really good at this level, you know. I mean, just looking at what he's done, he got 21 goals in League One for Wycombe last season, 13 goals the season before. Started to find his feet as a striker, probably started to hit his prime as well. He's someone that I would like to be able to bring in, but I feel like we're going to have to wait until he lowers his demands a little bit, because at the moment he wants far too much money to make it happen, and you just can't afford to pay that. I mean, I don't believe that the stats, no, because no matches played yet, but we've got to be the lowest wage budget in this league for sure. The transfers that we have done mean that the season preview still has us at 200 to 1, still has us in 23rd place. Bolton, who have followed us up there in 7th, 16 to 1. So it's going to be a real tough season. I know we did it in League One when we weren't expected to, but it's completely different here now when we have to get through some of these clubs. I mean, just look at the league for a second, and you look at all the sort of the past Premier League teams in real life, never mind in this game. And you got obviously Barnsley, Blackburn, Bolton, Bournemouth, Cardiff, Coventry, Crystal Palace, Derby, Fulham, Huddersfield, Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Notts Forest, Portsmouth, Preston. I don't think Preston have been in it in the last. Well, in the Premier League, have they? QPR, Reading, Sheffield United, Stoke, Swansea, Wigan. I mean, it's a team full of ex-Premier League sides. I don't know if any of these other teams like Bristol and that have been up. Doesn't look that way. And Southend, I can't imagine. Southend obviously came up with this last year in 2nd place. But yeah, so many good teams in this league. We are going to struggle massively, I think. If you look through the past winners as well: West Brom, Everton, Blackburn, Brentford, West Brom, Wolves, Fulham, Villa, Sheffield United, and then going down to Norwich there in 2020-21 season. It's going to be one hell of a tough season. Xavier Benjamin and Charlie McCann are going to keep the captaincy and vice captaincy for this season. 2 more staff members coming in as well. How does our staff look as we go into this point? We need one more coach, and scouts are all got. Everything looks like it's moving pretty well for us right now, so I can't complain too much on the staff front. Hopefully that means that we can continue to improve this side. As we just have another look at what the scouts are saying, just going to take out literally anyone worth anything, I think. We'll keep Whittingham in. Can we keep that guy in as well? Leon Guevara from Regensburg, 34-year-old. I don't really want to spend the money that I've got left on a 30 or 34-year-old. Whittingham is a 25-year-old, can play in a lot of positions. I mean, if we could get him for the lower end of that 16,000, it might be worth having a look at him. I mean, what can he do? Physically looks okay. Looks for a pass rather than attempting to score. That's good. He's another one who can play left fullback. I just wonder how cheap can we get him? If we offer nothing, they want £140,000. See, they've accepted that, but I wonder whether that's going to go out now or in 6 months' time. So we'll just have a look. Regular starter, continue. So relegation release clause, we'll put 250k on that and lock that in. Try and drop the wage rise if we go up to the top division. Just lower some of these down, I think. There's a lot of bonuses, but to be fair, I don't mind giving out a 10k bonus if we can avoid the getting relegated. No signing on fee. We're going to drop him down to 3.5. I feel like he's going to ask for more. Yeah, of course he is. So 3.5. Drop the agent's fee down to 15. Perfect. Job done. Hopefully we can afford that deal, because maybe I've been a bit silly, but if that's going to go out in 6 months' time, we may just have the money by that point. Tim Crowe and Lewis Martin are coming back. Lewis Martin, can we extend it? So Lewis Martin is staying out on loan at York for a bit longer. I'm not sure how long. I didn't check how long that was going to be. Obviously his loan ends in 2 days' time. York want to extend it to the end of the season. We've accepted that. Very happy to send him back out on loan. I think that's the best place for him at the moment. Hopefully he can help York be a good side. We're just looking. I mean, what did he do last season? He scored 16 in 35 last season, and York finished in, I have to go all the way back and look at stages. York finished in 10th mid-table, so hopefully he can do a job for them. They are predicted to finish in 3rd this season, so predicted to be around the promotion places. We're going to adjust the budget, get Matthew Whittingham in. It's another player to bolster the side. We're going to show you the business that we've done before we end this episode, as Whittingham is through the door with Purcell. 25 players in the matchday squad. Absolutely fine. We'll sort out the physio stuff in a minute. I'll take you through the transfers that we have made. We go all the way back to the 9th of June. We brought in Dan Addison from Man United, Nabil Ziani from Manchester City, James Graham from Tottenham, Oran Morris from Liverpool, and Kevin Gamez from Manchester City. All those were released by those clubs. We brought all those in on frees. Spent £37,500 on Ashley Phillips, who is a centre back, looks very good physically, 25 years of age. And then Robbie Irwin, who is a right winger, he came in on a free from Derby, looks like a very good right winger. He's going to challenge Shaden Morris for that spot this season. And then as it ticked over into July, we brought in Abdu Azik Sek, who was wanted by some big clubs. Looks like a decent player, probably going to be our top central midfielder. A lot riding on him. Good passing. If we just look at that central midfield attacking role, good first touch, good long shots, good passing, good technique. I think good work rate. I think he could be absolutely sensational in this role at 19 years of age. We brought in Ron Curry as well, who is one of our backup goalkeepers, same as Tony Collins down there. Mohamed Boateng was wanted by clubs as well. He's a Ghanaian 20-year-old. Again, good physically. Jumping reach is a little bit poor, but then some decent numbers and room to improve as well, as he has 5-star potential. Ryan Manning is a left fullback who can play pretty much everywhere. Again, 34, good mentals, good technicals. Physical starting to decline a little bit, but he does come in as a backup left back. And then we have Anthony Purcell, who also can play centre back. Very aggressive player, decent physicals, good heading, good tackling, good marking, good where we need him to be, really. And then lastly, just brought in was Matthew Whittingham, can play all down that left side, physically very good, decision making, concentration pretty good as well, teamwork's good, positioning's a little bit poor, marking's okay, passing and tackling are good, crossing is good, getting forward from that left back position. And like I say, that is pretty much everything sorted for this season. We go into the opening game of the season against Reading. Reading are predicted to finish in 18th, so it'll be a test. 33-1 though, and obviously so they're way ahead of where we are. Can we do anything? That is the question. Are we good enough to be able to survive in the Championship? Time will only tell. We've had 3 excellent seasons in charge of Stockport, and we go into our biggest test yet in the Sky Bet Championship. We'll be back in the next episode for the opening 2 games. Well, the opening 3 games. We're going to show the Reading game, the Bristol City game, and we'll show the Middlesbrough game in the Carabao Cup in the middle of it. Middlesbrough also in the Championship. We play 3 teams in the Championship in that little spell. So we'll bring all 3 games to you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed what you've seen on today's video, please leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next episode for the first 3 games of the season.